All right, chat. We got a TAM talk to do. We've got a meta breakdown for week 4, and this is a big one. This is a crazy big one. As we jump to our middle screen, this is week 4. This is the first official month of competitive play. We kind of actually get to see what a real format looks like. Full disclosure, I don't have the stats from the PPG, and I don't have the top 8 players from the Webcam Weekly. So whenever we get all the way to the very end, I do have a small asterisk on your current best player in the world. But we'll get to it either way. I'm gonna turn on some music and make sure that I don't go crazy. All right, so the week's events. These are the things on the calendar. We've got the Magicka event, we've got the Webcam Weekly, we've got the Throwdown Thursdays that happen, we've got the Red Riot Games event, we've got Legendary Wolf Games, and then Pro Play Games. Anything that has an asterisk I don't have the information for. So Throwdown, Legendary Wolf, Pro Play Games are not going to be on our slides because I didn't get that information in time. I was already like 20 minutes late, and I had to make sure that we got stream started. So starting off with Magicka, here's what our event looked like. We had 21 players. Our top, oh no, I'm too big. Chat, I'm too big. Our top 8 was Ochako 2 in first, coming out strong. Even we heard Palindrome say that Ochako 2 won that event as well. Spoilers, she did really well in the Webcam Weekly. This character has come out swinging, and the question is it because this character is actually that strong, or is it because people just want to play with their new shiny cards? We'll have to see next week if our Ochako stock dips or if it will keep rising to the moon. Followed by Kirishima, followed by Denki. We saw Denki do well at the 1K PPG event, not last weekend, but the weekend before, right? Or not yesterday, but the weekend before. There you go. He got 8th place. 2 Atsuis in top cuts. Ojiro is cool to see. Shigaraki is there. And boom, your boy Yuga. Finally showing up to the tournament. Funny enough, if you look over here, here's our 21 count. There were 3 Yugas at the tournament. 3 of them. He was the most represented deck. I don't know how. I don't know why. But the people decided at the 11th hour for the first month of the event to finally play Yuga, which means that now there is only one character that has not been represented inside of any event that has had 30 or more people, and that is Ida 2. Ida 2 is the only character out of everybody who has not at least been represented inside of one of these events. Yeah, big shot. Oh, surprise. So surprised, CrossFit. For sure. I don't have a symbol breakdown. I ran out of time, but the symbols weren't crazy or that interesting, and I'm not actually sure what we get to glean from it more than we already know. But my big thing here is our killers, the tent poles of the format, did not show up to this online event, right? We had 2 Kirishimas, which is fine, and then we had 1 Eraserhead, and then no Jiros, right? Our big 3 just don't exist. Both of them decided to all play Ayama that week for funsies. Okay, Smooth Blue. Okay. I mean, it still says something, right? We had a 21-person event. Ayama could have just dropped, right, and just not done a very good job. So kudos for him. Interesting to see Momo here, a 1 of Momo, 1 of Ida. These characters, I think, are a little undervalued for what they do. I'm surprised we didn't see more Moneta. I think with the DLC coming out, I think Moneta is actually a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Honestly, any character under the life or water symbol absolutely eats those Froppy 2 cards up. I think Infernal piloted Bakugo to a 3 last week. Yeah, we're going to talk about it right now, actually. Into the 41-person Jasco Games webcam event. Now, I believe that there were actually 42 people in the event. I think if you count this up, it's 42 people. But the document that I was given only had 41 plots of information, so that's all that I can say about it. So our I think our other is off by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, our other is off by 1. But here we have our first All Might 2, and we have Ayama squeaking in to make his numbers count in our final tally for the month. Another week where quote unquote the best decks aren't showing up, right? We had 5 Eraserheads, who is one of our pillars, but then we have all the way down here we have Kirishima, and then all the way over here we have Jiro. Consistently, Bakugo has been on this pie graph every single week. Every week Bakugo has been here. A ton of Bakugo lovers, not to mention Ochako coming out in droves as well. Loyalists, yeah, for sure. The people who care about Bakugo absolutely love him. And I gotta say that deck is some of the most fun My Hero you can play, right? Some of the most fun universes you can ask for. Sero, Denki, Shigaraki, all being our 3 ofs, and then these are all 2 ofs, and we finally have our protagonist, the main guy. He's up on the sheet. Only at a 2 of, which is cool. Yeah, fun turnout. I don't think this is the most competitive look at where the format could be, but like people are moving off and experimenting with these other characters to see if there actually is a counter to these tentpole decks. Brings us to our undefeateds of the week. We had 4 undefeateds inside of our 3 rounds with our 42 people, and that is 1 Eraserhead, 1 Kirishima, 1 Bakugo, 1 Uraka. The big thing about this lineup is so we have the 3 most represented characters, obviously topping because, statistics say that there's more of them. As long as you can play an okay event, you should have one of these 3 topping. But Mr. Consistency Kirishima comes in and squeaks one out as well. Good stuff. Characters that we didn't see represented. We didn't see an Ochako one. We didn't see a Shodo, which is interesting because they literally got first and second at the last big event that we had. Who else is in here? We don't have All Might 1. We don't have there's no Momo on this list. A lot of cool one-ofs, though. I love to see the 11 one-ofs. 21 unique characters, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21 unique characters. So, yeah, there's certainly something to be said about that. There's 30 characters, 31, 32 characters in the format. So, 2/3 of the characters are represented, which is really good. Really good. I will move on. Red Riot Games. If you do not know, Red Riot Games is a card shop based out of Canada that runs their events. Fans of the show, I'm a fan of Red Riot Games. And where do we sign up for Webcam Weekly this week? I don't know. You have to ask the official Discord. I am not in charge of the Webcam Weeklies. Could not tell you. They had 15 players, which is like double what they had last week, I think. So big shout outs to you guys all going out in droves. Let's see if we can push this number up to 30 this week so that we can include Red Riot Games inside of the overall character meta, right? Because that is how I'm doing my character breakdowns when we start to finish the presentation. Is if these events that have 15 players aren't counting towards their stuff. Yeah, so here's my big thing. Even out of 15 players though, Momo hit our number 1 seed, right? We had a Momo list that won, which is amazing. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. We had Momo take our number 1 seed and a smatterings of things. If you want a spare, I don't know if you're in my Discord or not, but you can certainly drop that link. And Cody, if you're there, I can't do links in chat because of bots. I'm nervous about it. Oh, no previews, no spoilers. Anywho, the 2 All Mights that exist on this list, I don't know if they're All Might 1, but I have to assume that they're All Might 1 because there weren't any extra numbers next to his name from the info that I was given. So it could have been literally any of the All Mights, but I have to assume it's All Might 1 just because of the message that was given me. Last event on live, I vomited on camera and still finished my weekly event for me on this month, and I was sick and been quarantined. Wow, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. Anyway, I think these are really interesting numbers. There was an All Might 3 from Saturday. Yeah, that's not the information that I was given, Kiri, or else I would have for sure put it in. Yeah. This is an interesting lineup though, especially Momo coming out of the woodworks. We haven't seen pretty much anything from this character. So maybe we put this character, this player, in some of these bigger events and see how they run. On to PPG. Oh, this is from last week. Did I mess this up? I just didn't delete this page. Lol. Pause. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the right one. All right. Back to it. Here's our character breakdown. This is our character breakdown for the entire month. These are the top 10 represented characters. We have All Might, Kirishima, Eraserhead, Tokoyami, Bakugo, Jiro, Nomu, Sero, and Shigaraki, and lastly, Atsui. And then our other category here. The big thing about this list is previously in the month, Sero was a part of the other category and has just edged out Ochako 1 Dot by 1 point. These are all characters that have had 10 or more characters represented. We had All Might 3 at 11, we had Sero at 11, and anything that was 10 or less got bumped to the other category. Very, very sad about Ochako 1 Dot. We need justice. But this is the stats that you need going into the provisional showdown circuit. This is the information that you need to know. What you are statistically, if you were to run into, I'm gonna get rid of my camera real fast. Boop. If you were to run into anybody, you have a 4% chance of running into All Might 3 statistically. Right? You have a 13% chance of running into Kirishima statistically, right? And so these are the matchups that you need to make sure that you are preparing yourself for as you are playing the game, right? Obviously, this number is like this number is not necessarily true because we've got this 22% other, and we could like split them all up. I'm waving to the camera again. You can split them all up, but like statistically, 13% seems about right for Kirishima every time you go to an event. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. And as these bigger, larger events go down, we'll see more information as numbers get tighter and tighter and tighter, such as Sero jumping up onto this main page. I'm gonna put me back on. So this next slide is really important, and I think it is inarguably the most important slide of this entire presentation, and most of the reason that I wanted to do this. And it is your player rankings, right? I really, truly, greatly appreciate what Jasco has done and what the main My Hero Academia Discord has done with making the top 8 people from the PPG Discord, PPG event that played out top 8 and making us all the pro heroes. But these are not the consistent, the people who have consistently won throughout all of these events, right? And I think the storyline of these videos is really, really cool as we go into the provisionals, especially whenever we have people who aren't going to be playing. You get to now, as opposed to watching characters throughout these events, we now get to watch players, right? We've got our number one hero is actually Joseph Atchison. And so when Joseph Atchison goes and wins this next event, you're going to be like, I knew that was going to happen because he has ranked exceptionally well in this first month. Tony too, Eye of the Boat, crushing it inside of these events, obviously. Ryan Field, Chris Bromley, Wesley Bittner, Smooth, who I just learned his name, but didn't get a chance to put it on the document yet. Jose Tagayo, and then I am also tied in 8th place, but I have only played in 1 event, whereas Jose has played in 2, Tagayo has played in 1. So I just pushed him up because I don't need that. There is a big asterisk here because I don't have the top 8 winners from the most recent webcam event, and that will skew these numbers a little bit. But as of last week, right, as of week 3, this is where our player rankings are. So as we are going into these big provisional events, we get to follow storylines, and I think that's so interesting. And we can even have eventually stats, right? How sweet would it be for any of these provisionals to like look back and be like, yo, the last time that TamCardwell and Chris Bromley met in bracket, Tam won. Tam has a 1-0 lifetime on Chris Bromley in My Hero events. That's a cool stat to have, right? And you can do that versus with all of these players. I think that's a really cool statistic to have player-wise for the storyline of the game. And it's something that you could do. Can you put my name in and then send me the screenshot so I can frame this and tell my mom, Pog? Yeah, man. For sure. I will for sure do that. Nice example. It's the only one that I could think of. Off the top. I don't know who's Ryan Fields fought. I have no idea. You know what? If we want to talk about it, TamCardwell has a 1-0 record versus all these chumps in bracket. Just kidding. So, what up, Jellyfish? So, here's my recap so far. I think this information is really, really important. It's really, really crucial because of the provisionals that are coming out starting in February. We are going to be getting information. You can now we're going to start signing up for our provisional showdowns on this upcoming Friday. And that is a big deal for our game because this is how we get not only the rest of set 1, right, these provisional packs, but also, I believe, and chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this is how we start getting our invites to the big event at the end of the year. Our 25K, our $250,000 event starts at this provisional showdown level. Is that true? Is that true? The Jellyfish guy is the one who would tell us. They would know. They gave the data for provisional. I don't care if I can share, but I know the date. Should we leak it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who's they? It's on Facebook now. Leak away then. We're good. What does that look like? I'm going to do this, and we'll go to Facebook. Let's see if we can find a thing. There's no way that it's not in my top feed on Facebook, right? No, it says pictures about the Mandalorian. Apparently, it's not. I have to actually go look for it. Yuck. This one should be it. The 26th of February. Ooh. Wait, what? There's a lot going on. Hold up. The 26th of February is not the number that I'm getting. That is not what's on this thing. I'm seeing February 19th through the 20th, April 2nd through the 3rd, and then March 12th through the 13th. That's what I'm seeing. The Jasco rep announced it before Swiss. Don't leak my Facebook stuff. I hope nobody messages me. But this is what I'm seeing. 19th, 20th, 2nd, 3rd, 12th, 13th. Right? Is that true? Facebook is the most recent info. So there you go. I need to go share this post. Cool. So yeah, this is the reason this is so important is because this is your breakdown. This is what you need to go home with you and your homies and practice, right? If you are not prepared for the Kirishima matchup that you will see the most of throughout the rest of the day, that is important. At the same time, you do have this other 22% of the field that you have to make sure that you are prepared for. What happens whenever you sit down across from Ochako 2? What happens when you sit down across from All Might 2? What happens when you sit down from All Might True Form? Are you prepared in those matchups? What happens when you sit down from the meta killer Ida 2? What do? Quake in your little boots? That's what I thought. And so, if your deck is not prepared to fight these 10 characters plus other, then you got to make sure that you got to figure it out. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? And look for these guys as they're playing. Chat, you guys got any questions?